So good morning, everyone, and welcome to this passport event. This is a really exciting event for us. This is the launch of the Northwest of England and Isle of Man passport. As part of my district goals for the year, I wanted to set up a district-wide service club for the whole district, which is going to be a flexible club, and I think a passport club is the route for us to take to do that. Membership is an issue for us, as we all know. We talk about it all the time. The world has changed around us. We've had COVID. People have got different lifestyles now. They work from home, they're traveling, they've got young families, and we need to find a route into Rotary that will attract people that can't come to a traditional club and meet the way that we normally do in our clubs. So I think there's a huge desire to volunteer out there. People have been mobilised into volunteering at vaccination centres over the past year. They all see volunteering as something they want to continue with, but they might not see traditional Rotary clubs as the way to do that. So whether you give them an opportunity to come along and volunteer and do things a little bit differently. So we think a passport club is the way to go for our district. So, I mean, COVID has changed things dramatically, but even before that, the world was moving on. And Rotary hasn't really been moving on. So, you know, those people who actually want to come and do things with Rotary, but, you know, traditional Rotary clubs in the way that we currently do things maybe doesn't suit their lifestyle. You know, people are very busy, they work shifts and work from home, they're on Zoom, they travel for work, they've got young kids and busy lives. So coming to regular meetings of Rotary is not necessarily the right thing for them. But there's a huge desire for people to volunteer. We've mobilised a whole army of volunteers in the UK during COVID to run vaccination centres. These are all volunteers that want to do good locally in their community, but they might not see Rotary as a volunteering opportunity. They may see it as a club to come and have dinner and listen to speakers. So basically, we're trying to open up some new avenues for people to join Rotary, not necessarily to join the club and attempt just to join Rotary. So I'm not going to steal Phil's thunder, but that's the background behind it. We're trying to open up a new avenue for people to come and join the Rotary family. And then I think so, I'll pass it to Phil to talk about what passport is and how it works. Then that will get a conversation going, I think, really. So I'll let Phil take it from there without stealing his thunder.
Great, thanks for that, Eric. That's great. So we'll move on. So first of all, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what club models are out there and why Passport exists. So here's a slide that was used recently at a Rotary Great Britain and Ireland membership event. It's a little bit hard to read, but you'll be able to look back on the recording afterwards. So we have the traditional Rotary Club, we have the Satellite Club, we have the E-Club, we have the Passport Club, which we're specifically talking about today, Corporate Club, the Cause-Based Club, the Rotaract Club, and there is a direct membership model in the UK for Rotary Great Britain and Ireland, which is the hub. So we have a number of different routes for Rotary, but we thought that the Passport Club would be a great opportunity for District 5. So what is a Passport Club, I hear you say? We've heard this term bandied around for a while, but what is it? It is an opportunity to make Rotary membership really flexible. And that comes in this term from a document which will be part of this recording. The term passport refers to the ability to move freely from one club to another, attending meetings or participating in the activities of other Rotary clubs. Any Rotarian can attend another club when travelling, but Passport clubs encourage their members to do so regularly, which brings about fresh ideas back to their own club. So that is straight out of the RI Passports documents. A Passport club is a more flexible approach to Rotary. And what we are doing with the North West England and Isle of Man passports is allowing prospective members to join the passport immediately. So there are a number of inquiries that come from Rotary Great Britain and Ireland and Rotary International, and they are often dispersed to the clubs of most interest. What we can do now is we can bring them into the passport and allow them to be part of an organisation from day one without that transitional period into clubs, because historically that's not managed awfully well. So we've got a body of people within the district that will be part of the Passport Club. And we think that that will be a great catalyst for those Rotarians to do service within your clubs. They're clearly new Rotarians and want to join and be involved in Rotary. So that's what really the Passport is. It is up and running now, but it doesn't necessarily have any members. So as there are actively half a dozen active, hot, shall we call them, leads from the Rotary Great Britain and Ireland, and all those people will be invited to join the Passport. And if they choose to join a club going forward, as they build their relationships with clubs, then that's what we that's what will happen. So I wanted to touch a little bit on how do Passport clubs work, and the theory is that there are they meet twice a month as a starting point, but they meet to suit themselves. They are a club, and they will set their own rules. They meet less frequently. They could meet physically. Invariably, they will probably meet online. They focus on service and or fellowship and social activities. They set their own rules. They're a club in their own entirety. They set their own rules and their own club dues to suit the club. And they are all Rotarians in their own right. So they will dictate the pace. There are a couple of opportunities elsewhere where there's almost like a sub club within the group, because we just don't know where the geography will work with regard to Passport. But these people will be Rotarians in their own right from day one. And what we would ask is, if you are doing an event and you need some assistance with that event, is to reach out to the Passport Club, who may be able to assist you and get involved and be a service to the clubs within the district. That's how they are going to be able to do their Rotary service. So what are the benefits of a Passport Club? Well, the benefits really are its flexibility. They are a pseudo e-club. They come and go to suit with their lives. It is a really flexible method of being a Rotarian, and it's a route to engagement that isn't available in our district. It has a broader appeal. There are abilities for all sorts of people to be part of the Passports, and they may not be able to commit to a Rotary club, and they can be part of the Passports and then do Rotary when it suits them. And we feel that it's an opportunity that we shouldn't miss within the district, and we should bring it about. So in the first instance, the contact for the Passport is going to be through the membership team and myself, but very shortly that will change into a club body. Like I say, there are 6 or 7 active leads for people that will join. And they will join, we're talking in days and weeks rather than months, and we see it as an opportunity to strengthen the service that we offer within District 1285. So I know I've thrown quite a bit there at you, and we've sort of rushed through that to a certain degree, but we would like to have a debate now with you. I'm just going to hand back to Eric, who's going to sort of finalise his comments relative to the nuts and bolts that I've tried to explain there.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. I mean, that's a lot of information there, but we're just trying to give you the bones of what the club actually might look like. How I think it will work sort of practically is I think we'll have lots of different types of people joining the Passport Club at different times for different reasons. So as Phil said there, some new members coming into Rotary can join the Passport Club, become Rotarians on day one. They can help with other people's service projects. They can visit. The idea is, in fact, they will visit other clubs in the district and in the UK and abroad if they're travelling. So they will visit as many clubs as they want to. They can go and visit any club. They'll get to know certain clubs. They may well find a natural affinity with a club and decide to move there, and that will become their Rotary home going forward. They may stay in the Passport Club. There'll also be some Rotarians where their lifestyle has changed. Something has happened. It could be illness. It could be the fact that they moved house, anything else. And they can join the Passport Club either till they find another club that suits them or to become part of the flexible Passport Club. Some Rotarians may decide that their club meeting format doesn't suit them and there are no clubs locally to them that they can actually attend because of work or family commitments or whatever, and they can join the Passport Club. They can still go and join our projects locally or anywhere else in the district if they wanted to. So there'll be a whole variety of different people who will join. Some will be new to Rotary and some won't be new to Rotary. I think it's just giving that flexible option that people don't need to leave because things have changed. People joining can come in and choose what they want to do. The Passport group will actually set their own agenda. So we are not going to tell them how and when they need to meet. It will be down to the members to find a format that suits the majority of their members, because actually they will be a club in their own right. They will pay dues. They will pay district dues. They will pay Rotary dues, because they have to do that to be Rotarians.
Yep.
And they'll be a club in the district, so they're one of our clubs. And basically they will have a president, a secretary, and a treasurer. What they do beyond that for officers is down to them. They may well stick at those three. They may well have the three officers in the club and run that. We keep it simple, or they may well then build in other groups of committees as they choose or as they see fit. So really, it is ultimately flexible Rotary. That's what we're looking at, and it's a chance for people to come in, set their own agenda within the Rotary framework. I mean, they will follow the Rotary guidelines for everything else. They can't break the rules. They have to follow the rules, but essentially there's lots of scope there for them to do things, to do Rotary in their way. It may be a younger club. It may not be a younger club. I know that other Passport clubs have a huge age range in them. So it's just people who need it to be flexible for their Rotary or want to be flexible for their Rotary. So that's what we're looking at. The ultimately flexible Rotary club in the northwest of England and the Isle of Man. That's our aim. And I'll let you see where it takes us. Exciting journey, I think, and today's the first day. This has been launched today, so yeah. So I think we'll just take some questions and a bit of chat now, perhaps from people. So the first hand up was Keith Favour.
Right. Good morning, Eric. I've got a question. Look, obviously, I have an advantage over most people here that I've been involved in some of the talks and conversations about the global hub and district hubs, which also offer a route to Rotary, which is not club-based. And which is looking quite attractive, I should say. What advantages do you think, or disadvantages, a Passport Club has over what will become a district hub as part of the global hub?
The global hub is really it's global, isn't it, by nature? It's a national thing. We're looking for people who effectively are based in the northwest and perhaps want to deliver hands-on service in the northwest. So we think it's a bit more tangible to have a geographical patch, maybe not a town to work in, but if we're doing physical projects, perhaps locally, to get local projects up and running from the club, having it within the district is just another route into Rotary. There are so many routes into Rotary now that it's absolutely wonderful. And the more ways you can join Rotary, the better chance we've got of surviving the next 50 years, isn't it? So we're just trying to create an additional route. The other routes are all great. We're not dissing any of the other routes, but just saying this is another way in that's got a bit of a local flavour for the northwest of England. But you could join the national hub and still go and visit other clubs. Yeah.
I do.
Yes.
Online, but I do.
Swati, you had your hands up?
Thank you. Thank you, Eric. It's really very interesting way of looking, and I can see the benefits of it, and really we need to give a good try going forward. I've got a question and a comment. Question is, currently within my own club, which is Bolton Lever, and having heard some of the discussions in the previous session of Vibrant Club, and I was ticking the boxes where our club fits in. And to be honest, I mean, feel quite honored that I'm a member of a club which really ticks many of those boxes. Not that we have to leave it there, we have got some work to do, but our club at present has got 27 members, and we have a group of 6 to 8 potential members lined up. 3 of them will be inducted in January. But some of these members came through the Rotary GBI membership template route. Will the Passport Club stop these members coming to the clubs? Is my question.
So if you don't mind, Eric, I'll take that one. Yeah. So we get inquiries in from Rotary Great Britain and Ireland. So and Rotary International directly, and as membership lead, they land with me. Sometimes there is a specific requirement where they want to join a club. So they live in, I'll pick my own club, they live in Prescott, and they say, we'd like to get involved with Prescott. If there's a direct request, that will probably still go to the Prescott club and miss the passport. But if they're experiencing or expressing interest in Rotary in the Prescott area and want to find out more, there'd be a conversation from the membership team to them, and then we would give them the options. So the options would be, well, we've got a Passport club now, or there are these clubs in the locality, Rainhill, St Helens, Widnes, Prescott, and we would give them the option. If they were indecisive, then the Passport is the way to go, is to get involved with the Passport and be involved as a Rotarian from day one, is give them a place to feel part of. And that would be the intention that we do. But in answer to your direct question, if someone specifically says, I would like to know more about Bolton Lever, then that inquiry will go straight to Bolton Lever. There would be no point in going through the Passport. That would be a direct point of call.
Yeah, to tell Swati, we had a one such inquiry this week for Macclesfield Castle.
Yeah, good. I think actually the benefit of the Passport Club, if someone joins, especially an interest in a certain area, as Phil just said, you might say to them, well, go and visit the 4 clubs in your area, but they're going in there cold and blind, so they don't know what. So they'll go to your club, not really understanding what Rotary is, so they're not quite sure what they're looking at. If they join the Passport Club, there will be an induction into Rotary in the Passport Club. So they will join Rotary. They'll know what Rotary is all about, because part of what should we do to get them into Rotary. They can then go and visit clubs in the locality with a bit of Rotary background to understand what they're looking at. Actually, they may well decide to choose one of the Bolton clubs to join, but they will go there informed as to what Rotary is, and they'll have seen what they want to do. So I think if, as they go on to choose a club, they're not coming in thinking, what's all this about, and what's foundation, and what does this mean, and what we're going to see. We do use a lot of jargon. So some coming in cold to a meeting may not understand what they're looking at. So if they join the Passport Club and then look around, I think they can have it's a more informed choice if they want to go and join a different club. So I think that's the benefit of the part. Plus, actually, as Phil said, they join Rotary immediately. If you say to them, go and look at 4 clubs, pretend that they get round places and they've maybe had a better offer for someone else, so we get them in quickly and then give them some sort of induction, then they can look around and they may well decide that the Passport may just be a route into another club.
Thank you, Eric. That leads to my comment, really. This is again talking from my own experience in my own area. Many of our club members who have joined have really visited other clubs previously, and then they have chosen our club because it has got a wide age range of people ranging from mid-30s to mid-70s and members in each of the decades. so which works. But one of the things which we sort of do is not bring in the members as or potential prospective people as members and ask them to pay the subs. And this, I don't know how the prospect, if it in a passport club, they have to be members of Rotary, immediately start paying the subs. Is that the right way forward? Because sometimes when people are inquiring about Rotary, they really don't know what they're looking for. They need some time to explore and see, is that something they want to do? Is that something which they would want to carry on? So they need a period of visiting club, understanding about Rotary, talking to other people. And in my own club, we don't ask members or prospective members to pay any subs for at least a period of 6 months, sometimes even up to a year. And that has really we have got what it has led us, that our attrition rate is very low, which means that people know that this is exactly the area they want to go and this is the club they want to be. And to be honest, attrition rate up other than death and people moving away, for the last 5-6 years, our attrition rate is very low, virtue of the members being familiar with the club and not having to immediately be a member of Rotary and pay subscription.
Bill, you want to?
Yeah, I think I would say to that, Swati, that it would be a very similar approach to a club. The fact that it's called a passport and it meets online, it's a similar approach. We're not there on day one, this is how much you owe, because we're exactly the same as you. So that flexible approach would be there. Okay. Yes, the fees would be explained, associated with the organisation, but in such a way as to give them the benefits associated with them fees being part of this amazing global organisation. But the flexible approach. So it's not a day one thing. It's down the line at an appropriate time, and it's run as a club. It's a club in its own right, and they will make their own rules. Yes, in the first few steps, the club is going to be steered by the membership team, and Eric will be involved with that. But as that catalyst, as that sort of critical mass builds, they're on their own. They're on their own. They're a club in their own right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I just use the same format. People will come in, and until they feel comfortable, we're not going to be asking them to get the checkbook out. It's one of those. It's going to, because it is very much like coming to look around. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
I see we've got a hand up from Roger.
Thanks, Phil. This is just a comment really on Swati's contribution that she's just made. Is there going to be a possibility of having associate members in the Passport Club as a way around that thing rather than admitting them as full members straight away?
Good question. And in all fairness, I don't think, and I am going to defer to Eric in a minute, we've got a definitive answer on that. I have absolutely no reason to believe that couldn't be the case, but we are touching and feeling as we go along here. So I think whatever opportunities are available in a normal club environment are available in the Passport environments. So I would say, yes, associate membership could be a route forward, and that might be something that starts straight away. I just don't know. So all I would say is that no one is advantaged or disadvantaged. Advantage for being part of Passport, and every route and availability for a normal Rotarian is available to a Passport Rotarian.
I think it's about terminology, maybe, Roger. Whether we call them associate members, whatever we call them, there will be people that will be in the club that are not yet full members. So we have to find a terminology for them, really.
Yeah.
That category will exist. Exactly what we call it. We need to just figure that out yet. So we're at the very early stages. But yeah, there will be a category of people who are inside the club and haven't yet joined. So yeah, I will work with them over a period of time.
Yeah.
Can I comment that if you go into DMS, associate, honorary and active membership are the only 3 forms that are recognised in the DMS. Friends of Rotary or not.
No. Sam had his hand up early on.
Yeah, Rotarians are required to be upstanding members of the community, and so one of the ways, one of the ways that's guaranteed, if you like, is that when you apply to a club, that then has to be approved by the members of the club, and because it's normally a geographical area, there's people will know you and know a bit about you. How is that going to work with the passport club, where people are from all over the place?
Eric?
I think we will actually have conversations with people as they actually apply. The current 7-day letter stuff that we do, all these things in clubs, is actually being reviewed as we speak, because it's perhaps a bit of a barrier to people joining clubs. I'm not saying that we don't need to take people that are not upstanding members of the community, but I think we'll talk to people as they come in, see what their background is, see what their passions are, and make sure that they fit with Rotary. But once we have the club up and running, the club will then talk to people as they come in, whether that's by Zoom or face to face. The same as if a member of the public walked into any club that we have never met before. They just moved to the area, just moved to the UK. You don't know them locally. We don't know what the background is. You have to talk to them and find out. So it's a bit of a kind of a chatting, informal interview type process. But if someone starts to move to UK from Poland, never been in Rotary before, decides they want to come and join Warrington, we'll have a bit of a chat with them, then decide if we want to let them in or not. And unless there was some severe reasons, that would go through. So yeah, a kind of informal chat process for that.
Yeah, and the other thing as well is that. Sam, it's a good question, but the inquiries will still come from Rotary Great Britain and Ireland and will still be validated and discussed, on a case-by-case basis. So let's face it, we're not inundated with inquiries coming in for new members through Rotary Great Britain and Ireland and Rotary International. So there's a conversation that happens. And I might have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 conversations with people before they make that decision. And going back to Swati's question, some people say, I've seen what Bolton Lever are doing. I'd like to be involved. Well, there's no point in passport being an option there. It would be a direct conversation with Bolton Lever and say, here, there's a person that's asking you by name. Will you take it from here? We would follow up on that. So there is a little bit of rapport built up like there would be with anyone. What we've got to dispel potentially is that there is no difference. A passport member is no different from any other club member. Their route to entry is still to a club. It just happens to be a passport club.
And when you see the leads that come through from Rotary GB and I, on the email, there's already a log of a conversation that they have had with that person before they even pass them on to us. So they've already had initial conversations with that person before it even gets to Phil as a lead. People have actually had conversations about Rotary and what it's all about before it even gets to Phil. They Phil has conversations before it gets to a club. So there's probably more of a vetting process than there would be that someone that just pitches up at one of your meetings and says, I would like to join, to be honest. So yeah, I think we're quite safe on that front.
Thanks, Sam. Linda.
I think Eric was before me.
Well, I'm giving you the benefit because I'm the membership committee, and I'm asking you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Morning, everyone. Just a quick question. So you've got members in the Passport Club, and they say want to come and visit us. Does their inquiry then go to our secretary as a normal inquiry would go for them to visit, or do they just turn up?
No, the sort of, shall we say, professional courtesy that exists between Rotarians is that they would drop a note to the secretary and say, "Hi, I'm a member of the Passport. I wondered if I could nip down to your club on whatever day," and they would ask. And conversely, you might say, well, we're having a committee meeting. Actually, the week after would be better, or you would just deal with it in the normal way. There's no other additional rules or regulations. They have to be professionally courteous to you and ask in advance, like a member from Coventry who happens to be travelling up to to the northwest on business, and he could say, "Can I drop in and see you?" That is the same route that happens there. So I hope that answers your question there.
Yeah, thanks, Phil.
Mr. Council, sir.
Thank you, Phil. I've got obviously local to me a passport club which is in the North Wales area, and my experience is that they tend to be project focused, and the groups of them, they seem to have hubs within their district, and they get involved in local projects local to their area. But also, if they know of the Rotary Club local to them that's running a project and they want to help, then they step in and help. So it's a two-way process. They're helping existing Rotary clubs with their existing projects, such as the Santa Sleigh and things like that, or other collections that they may be operating, other projects that they may be operating. But they run community-based projects within their area. For example, they're running from this area, they're running coach trips out to various places. There's two going currently. One's going to Bent's out the Bent's Centre, Plant Centre, etc. And the other one is going to Blackpool Illuminations for people to join in and have a social trip out. So they're running project-based events and forming a nucleus of members in that respect.
Yeah, absolutely right, Eric. There, spot on. And myself and Eric did meet with Nick Gidney, who's the district governor for District 1180, and had a conversation. And I think they started off not thinking that they would go with the hubs, but the hubs developed themselves. And because Passport is its own club, that's how it organically grew. So they have got a large geography similar to us, and decided that, you know, a north, south, east, and west like sub hub within the club was the way that they wanted to work it. Like I say, it's how that club develops, but definitely they are project driven, and it's all about giving service back. So,
and most of them have never met one-to-one because obviously, as you say, you know, they're opposite ends of the district, although they have had a social function to which anybody was invited.
Absolutely. Good.
Is that a fresh hand up, or is your hand still up from a previous question?
That's a fresh hand up.
Okay, that's good. I'm just checking.
I was thinking about, obviously I belong to a Macclesfield club, but live in the city of Manchester. And I would have thought that the Passport Club offers the option for people who live and work within the city of Manchester, who do not want to go to the Manchester Club or the Breakfast Club, which are the ones we've got left, but who would. I think that we're very weakly served within a population of nearly 600,000 people with a lot of professional expertise. And I think that it would appeal to those kind of people because it's something that relates to where they maybe live, but also maybe where they work.
Exactly, yeah. And they can then develop projects either where they live or where they work. So as Phil said, if there's a group of them in one particular area, they can then carry out a local project in that area or get involved with other clubs that are doing projects. So yes, it is a really flexible way for people that perhaps if you live in one place and work in another, you've got a lot of travelling time. That travelling time will probably not suit you to get to a Rotary meeting of an evening, so if you can join it online, the Satellite Mug Club will probably meet online most of the time. They may meet Saturday mornings, they may meet physically in a coffee shop. It's up to them to see exactly where they meet. So yeah, it is a new flexible way to capture people that we can't currently capture into Rotary. I just call it a satellite club, so I went Passport. Yeah.
Hi, Angela. You've got your hand up.
Hi. Yeah. It's obviously not going to be a Passport Club with a town name. I presume it's going to be. I know it's not geographical, but I presume it's going to be the size of sort of a district, a cluster area, presumably, so that everybody's sort of in the same geographical area. So, are you going to already put sort of a district structure in place with? Or are the passport clubs just going to emerge as they emerge and become the size that they've become? And is there going to be a district team at the meetings to lead it, so that it's sort of, you've got a spearhead in some sort of Rotary direction rather than a load of new people come up with loads of new ideas?
Brilliant questions. Thank you very much. So let me see if I remember these. The name is the Northwest of England and Isle of Man Passport. So that's the official name, Northwest of England and Isle of Man Passport, which is the same as our geographical identifier for our district, which is Northwest England and Isle of Man Rotary.
Yeah.
So it's just a passport on the bottom. So there's no geography other than it's Northwest of England. And you are right, there will be guidance available in the short term from district team, because it's becoming through a membership initiative as one of the goals from District Governor Eric to create this club. So there will be guidance available. So they are steered where they want to go. But the ideas and the outputs will be from the club. If they suddenly decide that they're going to start off on some monstrous project, then we may just want to temper that. But we will steer them. But they are going to be a club, and as soon as they're able to be chartered, they will be chartered. Until that point, they'll just be a group, as it would be whether you were a satellite or an e-club elsewhere in the district. I don't know if Eric wants to embellish on that.
Yeah, well, I think it's just, yes, it will be a club. It will be a district-wide club, because I think, so when the passport concept first came out, quite a few clubs said, we'll set up a passport club in our town. It's not quite, I'm not quite sure it's actually set up to have a passport club in every town. I'm not sure that would actually work. So we thought a district one. Now, at some point in the future, if we decided we need to have 2 of them or 3 of them, that may be an option. But right now, our ambition is just to get to 1. But it may well develop, it may get too big. It may be decided that, this is great, we've got a couple hundred people in here, let's split up in different areas, and we'll deal with that when that comes up. But I think just to get 1 off the ground across the whole district is kind of the first step that we're looking for. Then we'll see how it develops from there. But it is just so geographic to match our district. Doesn't mean to say that they can't work with the district next door. I mean, I know that Eric's club is actually working with a passport club at his area, which is not even from our district. So, there's a boundary there, but those boundaries are only just realised on the map. If they decide to work with the other passport club or with other clubs over the border, that's absolutely fine.
Right, thank you.
Great, thank you, Angela. Peter.
Yeah, I was just coming back on Angela's point. If I'm right, once the passport club is chartered, they will be another club within District 1285.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Are there any other questions, or have we given such concise responses, or are you just, I don't know?
Swati.
Thanks, Eric. I'm just trying to get my head around it. So Passport Club will be meeting online and will be project-based. E-clubs are also meeting online and they also do projects. So what is the difference?
I can answer that probably, Swati, if I may, because passport clubs don't necessarily meet online. They meet at the project. Whatever the project is, they organize it between themselves, yes, online, on emails, etc., but the meeting is at the project. So it's not an e-club, and they don't meet on a regular basis.
Okay.
They meet as and when, yes, to formulate the project, to plan, etc., and execute, but their meeting is on the project. That's how the North Wales one has been operating. It's not to say that the Northwest England one that we're setting up will meet in the same format. It will be down to the members themselves.
I think it will be initially online, because obviously until we get a group together, they'll need to just to form the group. But they may even decide to meet initially face-to-face if they're in the right area, just to get to know each other. So there'll be a whole variety of different ways. But I think, as Eric said, it will be project planning, but the main focus will be delivering the projects. That will be when they meet, and that will count as a Rotary service, will be at the actual project. or perhaps at one of your projects. There may well be some of them come along to help any of the clubs in the district at their projects. So they could be helping out at Santa Floats and beer festivals and summer fairs and duck races. You know, if it's in their sort of part of the district, they could do that as well.
Great. Any? Oh, Mr. Paver again, sir.
Thank you. I was just thinking, we talk about projects, and I agree that we should be much more project focused anyway. But I was also thinking about international projects rather than community projects. And I wonder whether there's the opportunity for passport clubs to do exactly what ordinary clubs do, which is twin with clubs, passport clubs in other parts of, particularly in Europe, I'd have thought, but in other parts of the world, and do combined projects exactly as we do with the 3 clubs in Belgium, Germany, and Holland.
Yeah, really good point, Keith. I think actually they will get to that point. I think initially the driver may well be to do something locally that they can actually get involved in, but it depends on the people who join. If their interest is in actually doing projects elsewhere internationally, if that's what their interest is, we may get to that point a little bit sooner. But yeah, certainly when they become a full club, they will do everything that a Rotary club will do. So they'll get involved in foundation and polio and international projects, and all of those things will be part of the menu of what we expect the passport club to get involved in.
I hope they'll be involved in foundation.
Well, absolutely. Well, absolutely, that's part of what we do as a Rotary club, isn't it? So
absolutely.
So they will do all of the things that a normal Rotary club does. They would just meet and maybe do it differently, but they will just there will be a full-blown Rotary club.
Excellent. Yeah, good questions there. Is there anything else that anyone's got a burning desire to find out about? Are we all done? There's no more
foundation dinner.
Gesticulation.
Yeah, foundation dinner.
Yeah. See that Monday night. Yeah. Can I just maybe wrap it up a little bit then, Phil? Just going to say, this is really our sort of launch meeting to launch the idea, give people a little bit more meat on the bones. I was saying that there's going to be a passport club. The way I see it is it's a route into Rotary for people that might not be able to join the club. As Keith said, in different circumstances, work one place, you live somewhere else. It's just a new way for us to attract more Rotarians. I think for the whole survival of Rotary in the big picture, we need to attract more Rotarians, don't we? Because that's our big issue. So it's giving them a way to get into Rotary that they maybe couldn't have got in by joining one of our clubs that we've currently got. I also see it as a bit of a resource for the district. It's a way to get members in that may well join your clubs. It's a way to have people who could come and help with your projects. So they're really adding to the district. They're not competing with anyone else. They're adding to the district overall by helping us to get new members, different members in, and also project support. So I think, from me, I'm looking forward to this getting off the ground and actually working. I think it will be a benefit to the district going forward. That's why I hope. It may take us a bit of time, but we've got some people on the way into the club already, as Phil said. So yeah, we've got a kickstart for it. So we may come and ask for some of your support, because while they can come and visit your club, you can also go and visit their club. So you're quite welcome to come to some of their meetings online. Not everyone, don't swap them all at once, but you're quite happy to come and visit them and see what they're doing, because they're exactly the same as they would come to visit you. So fingers crossed this all takes off. Thanks, everyone.
Great. Well, thank you very much for that summation there, Eric. I hope you found it useful. We now have the plan for a Rotary Club passport in our district. So watch this space over the coming weeks. And thank you very much for attending. I'll draw the meeting to a close and bid you a happy rest of the Saturday, and enjoy tomorrow, Sunday. So thank you very much.
Cheers, Phil. Thanks for your help.
All right.
Thanks very much, Phil.
See you on Monday.